One of my favorite quotes ever is by Wayne Dyer. And he said, and I might be paraphrasing here, but he said something along the lines of, when you change the way that you look at things, the things that you look at change. And it's such a beautiful quote. Like, if you just feel into that for a moment, when I change the way that I look at things, the things that I look at change. And so we're talking about perception, right? We're talking about what I believe to be my truth, what you believe to be your truth, and then the ultimate truth. And I'm going to challenge that, maybe that belief that there is an ultimate truth. Because if we're all coming from our own perceptions, then is there a truth? It's the old, well, if a tree falls in the forest, will it make a sound? If no one is there to observe it. So, I teach a lot of different modalities, and quantum physics is something that I find fascinating. And I began going down the rabbit trail about, I guess it's been about 6, 7, 8 years now. I don't know. Let's see. I have to do the math it's been about 7, 8 years. And the more that I understand science, I understand quantum physics, I understand spirituality, and I understand this other realm that, whether you want to call it belief or, I'm thinking of, like, when we pray or when we meditate, there is this realm that we can go to. There's a construct that's in the mind that when we close our eyes, we can be able to transport our bodies. We're able to mentally tap into the third eye and be able to be transported to somewhere else. And so I feel like I'm tracking a little bit off, but I want to come back and just talk about what the topic is for today. And it's how to get out of the head spin, the mental head spin. So as always, if you're here live with me, I'd love to know if you want to comment down below, and I'll send you some extra love, or even on the replay as well. Today's energy is the Eight of Clubs, represented by the Eight of Clubs. And the Eight of Clubs, like, think of just the geometry of the eight. I always think of the eight as an infinity symbol or a racetrack. And the eight can be very quick, right? It's movement in the same pattern. So again, just think of the geometry of the eight. There's a reason why every single one of our numbers have a shape to them. It's based on the frequency they emit in order to mean eight. We'll use eight for the example. And the Eight of Clubs, the clubs representing the mental space, how we think about stuff. And so the head spin that can happen if you feel like you are doing the same things over and over and over again, and maybe eking your way through, and maybe seeing some results but not nearly what you really desire, then it's probably a change in perception is called for. And it goes back to that Wayne Dyer quote: when you change the way that you look at things, the things that you look at change. And this is something that can be explained on a scientific level, but when you raise your own consciousness, when you call yourself higher, when you tap into your intuitive higher self that when you close your eyes and you can see the image of yourself, when you close your eyes and you can see the image of red, when you can see the image of an ocean. This is just tapping into a little bit more, like stair steps into your higher self, right? My little girls, when they were really little, would always ask me where God is. And so I would tell them, close their eyes, right? There he is, there she is, because God is inside of you. We are all interconnected. This is a universal law. We are all one. We are all connected to one another. Einstein explained this in a scientific level before he really could even explain this with tools and microscopes that we have now to actually prove it, again, through quantum physics. But let's bring it back to the energy today and how to get out of this mental head spin. The mood energy of the day is also an 8. So we've got two 8s coming together. And if you, again, like the image that I have is like a racetrack. So if you're spinning and you keep going and you're traveling along this infinity symbol, and it's over and 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 over again, you're going to see the same things. You're going to experience the same things. You're going to get the same results over and over and over again, until you can change the perception. You can decide that the perception that you've been living on, that you've been in this one janky old race car, and that you have decided to up level that. And whatever the analogy is for you with this, like maybe it's changing career, maybe it's deciding that the race car that you're in, your body in this example, would it's in need of some attention. It's in need of some, I'm going to use the word like repairs. It desires movement. It desires more water. It desires better nutrition, right? I see you, Martha. I'm going to come back and read your comments. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay, let's talk about that. So Martha is saying she's a ruling 8 as well. So she has felt trapped in that loop for so long. Actually, let me just go back up and I'll read this other comment here. I've had some very heavy thinking, mind shit yesterday. Yeah. So if you saw my live yesterday as well, I was talking about yesterday was the 9 of clubs. So 9 of clubs was asking you, are you willing to completely drop this old story? Are you willing to call yourself higher? And feeling release, feeling some integration to new beliefs and new awareness. Still a ways to go, but I'm finally feeling some deeper, let's see, I had to change screens here. Some deeper understanding. Changing the thinking mind changes your whole life. Absolutely. Thank you, Martha, for saying this. It absolutely does. The mind, we can get caught in our minds. Something that I teach, it's in the Rise Tribe, also in Mastering Their Brain Game, but again, a lot of different modalities. But something that came up yesterday was, we can get used to living from our necks up. We live in our heads, and we believe that our heads are the entire thing. We believe that our heads, the way that our mind is thinking, is the total reality. And that's just not true, right? The race car, your body, also wants equal attention. Your spirituality, your connection to the divine, to source, to the universe, it wants equal attention. The finances, the money in your bank account, the way that you think, the way that you feel, and the way that you behave. And so how, right? How do I get off this mental loop? How do I, like you said, Martha, how do I feel the release and find some integration into new beliefs? Well, there is a universal law of vacuum that says that as we're releasing something, it does want to be replaced. Something wants to come into its place. So it can be as much as a decision to stop, to pause physically. So think of this race car that's on the track and it's spinning its wheels and it's looping and it's doing all of the things, right? I'll use the analogy of like, I'm a business owner. So I'm doing all of the things. I'm making all of the contacts. I'm sending out all of the emails. I'm doing all the posts. I'm coming live. I'm talking, sharing my story. But if I feel like, but I'm doing all the things, I'm checking all the boxes, but it's not getting me the results that I really desire, well, then pause. Let's slow down the car that's on the tracks right now. Let's slow down my physical body. Let's take some deep breaths and let's go within. And let's just notice the track that you've been on. This is something that I teach in a 10-week series. So we take our time with this, right? We've been probably living in the same way for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And so the body actually has hormones that it's moving through it like a racetrack in the same infinity pattern and actually travels at 286 miles per hour. And when we're just spinning on the inside, we're spinning on the outside, and that's why we're getting the same results. So we slow that emotion down. We literally slow what's happening in the back of the brainstem that says, but I got to keep doing it. I got to keep checking the boxes. I got to keep hiring all these coaches that tell me to do X, Y, and Z, or I got to keep doing what, right? I got to answer one more email. This is part of my job. I got to do, right? I got to get the kitchen clean before I go do my Pilates class, whatever it might be. And you're just doing and doing and doing. How to get off that spin, that mental spin, is to stop and pause and just be aware of it. Just notice I'm in a spin. Here I am doing the same shit over and over and over again. And there is something that will happen inside the brain when you just are aware of it. You just acknowledge it. And then you can take it a step deeper and you can ask yourself, how am I feeling? What is this emotion that I'm feeling? Am I feeling angst? Am I feeling pressure? Am I feeling overwhelmed? Am I feeling nervous? And again, that emotion that's traveling at 286 miles per hour throughout your body is just wanting to be noticed. It wants to be felt. It wants to be recognized. Because if you don't recognize it, it will show up again and again and again in something that seems unrelated, but totally related. And some people live their whole lives this way. So just be aware of it. Just be very, very aware of it. Something that I do in the Rise Tribe is some EFT tapping, where we can tap on the chakras, the energy points in the body, in order to literally calm the amygdala in the brain and be able to rewrite the brain patterns. So what do you do if you're not in the Rise Tribe with me, or you're not in Mastering the Brain Game, or you're not in any of the other modalities that I teach? Something you can do for yourself is to physically pause your body, step away from the desk, close the computer, right? Ask your family, can you give me 5 to 15 minutes? And go sit and take some deep breaths. You can even put your hands on your heart. Something that I did for years before I realized what EFT tapping was I would tap on my third eye, and it would just bring me centered. And being aware of your emotions will help you to create a new, to have a new perception, is what I was going to say. Back again to Wayne Dyer, the way that when you change the way that you look at things, the things that you look at change. So maybe it's a matter of my physical body wants some more attention. Maybe it's a matter of I've been on a racetrack that does not serve me, and I'm going to step off of it. I'm going to step onto another one. But just being aware of your emotions, just being aware of them. And then, hey, Eddie, good to see you as well. Just being aware of them will get you to the next step. And the next step is, with your eyes closed, right? When you notice that you're in this mental head spin, and it seems so simple, but it is the way through it. That is the wormhole that I was talking about yesterday, is going, and even if it's without even leaving your desk, like I'm not even going to take the time to stand up. Okay, close your eyes, hands on your heart, take a deep breath, ask yourself, how am I feeling? And then ask yourself, how would I like to feel? How would I like to feel if I was coming from love? And again, this is something that I get into very deep work with my clients. It's a 10-week series again, and I'll talk about that maybe here at the end because it keeps coming up. But you are a conscious being. You are conscious that you're conscious. So your superpower is choosing your emotions. This is something you literally do every single day. You are not your emotions. You are choosing the emotions. You are choosing them because emotions emit a frequency. They are literally, just like you can see these throw pillows behind me, they are just as tangible as that. We don't see them with our physical eye, but we can measure them with different scientific tools. So emotions are out there floating around, and your brain just says, hey, overwhelm, I know that one. Hey, anxiousness, I know that one. Let's pick that one up. And let's keep feeling it over and over and over again until you pause. You recognize, you become very aware. The brain loves to be aware that you are aware that you're feeling these emotions, this head spin that you're in. And take some deep breaths and ask yourself, how do I feel? Next step, how would I like to feel? And just know that because you are a human being, because you're conscious that you're conscious, you can choose the next emotion. The truth is, you've been choosing your emotions all along anyways. You might as well make them something you'd rather feel. If this is something that you would like to dive into even deeper with me, I teach this privately. I can also teach this in a group setting. We don't start again until the fall. But if you're feeling like this is something that I would like to do, I would like to embody my own power. I would like to become empowered within myself. I would like to drop the need to control every fucking thing and step into my power. Then let's have a conversation. You could send me a DM. You can always, like, my DMs are open. You can always send me a message and we can have a conversation. But for now, how to get out of the head spin, pause, reflect, notice the emotions that you're feeling. So many people are so used to bypassing emotions and to saying, no, I won't let that in. I got no room for that. But what you're doing is, the saying of what you resist persists. you're pushing it away, you're pushing something so hard away, it's going to show up somewhere else. It's going to show up as added body weight. It's going to show up as an injury. It's going to show up as an extra bill in the mail. Like everything is energy. So when you learn to become empowered within yourself so that nothing on the external world has the ability to take you out, this is really what I'm talking about. You learn how to get out of the mental headspin by just being aware of your emotions. So again, I'm going to I can feel but how still happening? One, just be aware of it for now. Be aware and then choose. Be aware that you are aware. You're conscious that you're conscious. And then decide what you want to feel next. Yes, absolutely. Mastering the brain game is life-changing. I'm going to put that comment up here. Eddie is going through this with me for the second time, his second 10-week series. And why would you want to do this for a second time? Well, because you're probably going to be a human in a human body with a human experience, and you'll continuously learn to up-level and up-level and up-level. So, yeah, it just feels good to invite again. If this is something that you would like to explore a little bit deeper for yourself, I'd invite you to send me a DM and we can have a conversation. And for the moment, gift yourself, right? Gift yourself the 5 minutes. You are worthy. You are deserving of it. Set an alarm on your phone. Go walk into a space where you feel like you can close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, take some deep breaths, ask yourself, how am I feeling? And then, how would I like to feel? And then let yourself be in that. How would I like to feel? And choose that and choose it and choose it and choose it over and over and over again. So, hello, Christine. Hi, my beautiful friend. All right, everyone. I'm going to sign off for now. And I'll probably see you back tomorrow. I'm liking doing these lives. I did one yesterday. I did one today. I'm liking them. So have an amazing day, everyone.